One home to be sold. And these 5 realtors are hoping to sell it. They each bring their own talents and experience to the table, but at the end of the day, only one of them will walk away with the listing. It's all down to who can convince the seller that they are the best. Who will the seller choose as the best one for the job? It's game on Seller's Market.
My name is Leanne Davenport, and I'm a person who is always on the go. I have lots on my plate at all times. Right now I currently paint interior paint full time. It's really tough finding a job, so I just kind of like, well, I like painting. I painted all 4 of my homes. Do I love it enough to do it every day, all day long?
It turns out she does, and these days she doesn't just paint. She's also a home stager, so she knows a thing or two about selling homes. She shares her current house with the rest of the family.
Daniel is 15, your typical teenager, 15 going on 19, and Mr. Know-It-All. My husband, Brett, he is in industrial refrigeration, and he's doing really well with it, hence why he's not here today. Working.
Does this mean Leanne could make this big decision today all on her own?
I'll make a quick phone call and discuss everything as best as I can right away.
And how much does she think their house will sell for?
I truly believe this house is worth at least $600,000 because every time there was a for sale sign in my neighborhood, I right away would look it up. What's their list price? And every time the price was going up, and it's the comparables.
This 3-bedroom home in Lake Country is about to hit the market, and 3 top realtors will compete to win the listing. An ex-entrepreneur and a Taekwondo black belt, Dean is consistently in the top 6% of Canadian realtors. Clients love him for his professionalism and his sense of humor. A total real estate addict, Amanda lives for her career, and that ambitious attitude also extends into her passion for fitness. A successful real estate career and a young family keep Marika very busy, but that's the way she likes it. These 3 realtors have just arrived, ready for their first look around. Built in 2005, this 1.5-story home has 3 bedrooms and a walkout basement. The house is in Lake Country, a popular Okanagan community about halfway between the towns of Vernon to the north and Kelowna to the south. For our competing realtors, the first impression is a bit mixed.
Oh, this is warm.
Ooh, wow, green.
I'm not sure about that color.
Nice home office.
These are almost like a climbing wall. It kind of gives me a little bit of claustrophobia as I come in, but it's a beautiful piece in terms of being an antique door.
This is a little much.
The main floor includes the master bedroom with ensuite, an additional 2-piece bathroom, and an open-plan living area.
Oh, wow. 2006 is calling. They'd like their decorations back.
Vaulted ceilings open to above, gas fireplace with a natural wood mantle, and an island kitchen.
This kitchen is great. It's nice and open to the living area. And these French doors are fantastic. Imagine just opening these up and having this fully open and hanging out on the deck.
I think the agent that gets this listing is going to have to work hard with the seller to get this staged, decluttered, and bring it up to today's standard.
Upstairs, there is another bedroom and bathroom, and an open loft area.
Really adorable, nice and open to below.
Okay, so we've got a full bath in here and another spare room. Fantastic.
The home is built on a hill and has great views of the valley below. There is a full-height walkout basement, which gives it a ton of extra space.
Well, after seeing the whole house, this is a nice little surprise. I'm glad that there's a little bit extra space down here.
Looks like we have a bedroom, lots of storage. Oh, and home gym. I love these.
A little bit dated, and I know we probably won't get this painted and changed in time for the listing, but I think it's showing bright enough for what it needs to be. And we need a bathroom. Where's the bathroom? Where is it here? No, that's not it either. Uh-oh.
There is one thing missing, and that's a bathroom. They should have a bathroom down here.
Once you get outside on the deck, you're treated with a spectacular view of the valley.
This will have to get cleaned up. Oh, it's a little steep back there and a little overgrown, but the hot tub's great.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I feel about this yard. It looks like they haven't done anything to it. Definitely needs to get cleaned up.
This is a stunning, stunning view for this category of house. I think the buyers that are looking at this house are going to be pretty excited about this private backyard and the ability to sit here and have a morning coffee and just chill out in the Okanagan sunshine.
The Realtor's tour got a little scary at times, as Dean's sense of humor is starting to creep into the competition. Now that they have all had a good look around the property, and Marika has had a chance to get over Dean's prank, what are their initial impressions?
This is a beautiful home out in Lake Country. It's a 1.5 story with a walkout basement and a loft. It's very cute.
This house is built in it and right on the edge of town between an older neighborhood and a new one. So it's sort of one of the newer houses surrounded by older houses and has a beautiful view and lots of different things. But when I got here, it is showing its age more than I thought it would.
You know, the more modern homes, they do have that nice open concept feel. This home, I think it's 2005. It feels very compartmentalized. It's very separated.
I like the layout. It's a little bit unique being open to above with the vaulted ceilings, and the finishes are quite lovely. There is a lot going on, a lot of color. The sellers put in a lot of personal belongings. It's a little bit full.
The colors are also sort of a bit of a time warp, so it's a work in progress, this one, for sure.
And what would they suggest to help sell the house?
Buyers are very visual. They have a tough time looking past what they see, which is one of the main reasons why empty houses are tough to sell. But this house is on the opposite side of that scale. It's full. And buyers sometimes feel like the space is too small. They can't imagine their stuff fitting in here because they're overwhelmed by all the things that they see.
One of the challenges with a listing like this is the homeowner is in the industry. And when you're in the industry, there's a saying that we have, it's called the shoemaker's shoes. Often the shoemaker's kids have the worst shoes in town because they make their living helping other people be prepared. And I think in this situation, for Leanne, it can't be easy because she's out staging everyone else's houses, and at the end of her day when she comes home, she probably just wants to kick back and relax. And when you go to sell your house, you've got to sort of look at it with independent eyes, and that's really hard to do.
I wonder if she'd be open to having somebody else come in, or if she's open to, you know, doing the decluttering thing. I'd like to know her stance on that, if she thinks that this house is ready or not.
Because the seller is in the industry of staging and design, I'm going to tread very carefully with my comments.
And finally, how are they planning to pitch themselves to Leanne?
I want to meet Leanne. I want to talk to her and find out, you know, what problems is she trying to solve? You know, what does she like about her house? What does she not like about her house? Where's she going to next? You know, and what are her concerns about listing your house?
I'll be able to come in and talk to the sellers and help them understand that there are a few things that we need to change around in this house to make it sell. I think that I am really easily adaptable to different personalities. I can talk to people, and I'm kind of the nice girl, so I'll be able to do it in a nice way without, you know, hurting anyone's feelings, and I think that they're gonna like me.
This area is an area that I actually used to live in myself. I just moved from it recently, but I know it inside and out. I know the schools, I know the local parks, what's around the neighborhood, and I have sold on this street before. I think she's gonna find that the other agents today aren't quite in the same realm of the location expertise that I am.
Leanne Davenport is hoping to sell this 3-bedroom family home for $600,000. Our 3 realtors have seen the property and looked around at comparable sales. Now they're ready to make their 10-minute pitch to Leanne. What is she looking for in a realtor?
I like upfront. I hate it when people beat around the bush. I can't stand it when they try to be too polite. I need somebody strong enough. I'm one who can take charge, and they need to take charge.
Leanne wants a realtor who can really take charge. And leading the charge to convince her is Amanda.
You have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
You obviously have a knack for design and decor.
I love decor.
Yeah, it shows.
Did you see all the magazines?
I did, and I've noticed you played some tricks in here with staging. I actually took post-secondary in design and staging as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, it looks beautiful.
We had some instant commonalities with the fact that she even took courses in interior design and staging and whatnot as well, which is really neat. Then you can talk shop and lots of things to relate with.
I just moved from Lake Country myself. I was here for a few years,
yes.
Actually up on the other side, and it's a wonderful community. So I'm excited to potentially be the listing agent for you. So let me talk to you a little bit about my marketing and advertising plan. I will hire a professional photographer to come through and take high resolution pictures. We will then build a 4-page color brochure as a souvenir for the buyer to take with them. I will buy your address on Google, and I will actually build you your own website. And that's so that any buyer going by can just type in the address and get to your listing information immediately. They can text me for a showing right from there, ask me for additional questions. You'll get me live immediately every time. I do not have an assistant. I do not work with a team. It's always me directly.
She's very excitable, and plus she used to live here, and you could just see the excitement in her eyes with having to want this listing. So that was really nice.
Also put your home in Homes and Land magazine and a brand new magazine to BC called Real Home Advice.
I saw that recently.
Oh good, excellent. So the marketing, advertising, up your alley, something that you expected to see?
Oh yes.
Excellent. Would you like to talk about price?
Sure.
Okay, I believe that the strongest advertising number for you would be $599.9. And that's sitting right under the 600 cap, so that anyone that's looking up to 6, you show as the best property in that high price category, and hopefully if there's enough interest, we could sell over asking in multiple offer.
True.
If we push over 6, we're now the 6 to 650 category, and we're kind of fighting with the 650 homes, which right now is almost brand new property.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be my strategy for you. I have sold in this area. I know Lake Country very, very well, the schools, the playgrounds, all the different neighborhoods. It's wonderful. I think that I am absolutely able to sell this property for you. No problem. It would be an honor.
Amanda's pitch was full of optimism and energy. She's familiar with the area, and she pointed out her various commonalities with Leanne. She suggested listing at $599,000, hoping to attract higher offers in the current market. Her price is right on target with what Leanne had in mind. Next up is Dean.
Hi Leanne, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for letting us into your house. I noticed you've been working on the house a little bit. Tell me about the preparation before.
I'm a painter and I'm a detail person, and this house has been wear and tear for 9 years. Needs a lot of fresh paint jobs and the colors too. I'm done with the bold.
So tell me, what do you like most about this house? Like, what do you think's gonna sell this house when you're done?
Well, the minute you come in this space, then the right of way is the view.
Yeah. So you want to get them to the view as quickly as possible?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
I like him. He's a very outgoing person, and I could relate with him really, really easily.
Tell me, what would you pay for this house?
I'm not certain because I know what is wrong and right about this house. But either way, it has to be within that market.
Yeah,
you know, everybody out shopping, and if there's other houses, the comparables tell them as well.
The comparables will tell you, yeah. So I guess the question I have is, so you're wanting to sell your house, you really don't want to buy it. So we agree that we're trying to find somebody else to give you as much money as possible. And that's really, that's how my team works. I can show you all the wonderful things we do, but from the beginning to the end, we do what's called the perfect listing. We use professional photography. We stage every shot. So not only will you get you'll get the house ready, but my team will come here and we will move things around so the photography is perfect as well. Then we'll put it back. Because you know that staging for photos is different than staging for just walking through the house.
For photos.
So we'll help you with our team for all of that. So once you've got to the house ready, we'll help you with that little extra little workload at the end.
He is that same kind of personality. He's a go-getter and full of energy, and really would be fun to work with as well.
What percentage of buyers purchase in the Okanagan don't live here?
I don't know that.
It's about 60 to 70%. And in your price range, it's definitely 60% or more. So selling your house in the first couple of days could actually cost you money, because local people tend to have lower budgets than people from out of town. If somebody comes from Maple Ridge and they look at this house, this is a $900,000 house in Maple Ridge. So wouldn't it be great to have that person give them a week to come up and visit it? And that's really what we're focusing on.
Dean promised a perfect listing and suggested his team help stage the home, but he didn't suggest a listing price. Will this affect his chances of winning? Last up is Marika.
What is your timeline? How quick do you want to get all of this done?
Well, in a perfect world, it would have been long time done. But
Is that right?
I work
Okay.
full time.
Okay, yeah.
And as you can see, I've got about 5 rooms still to paint.
Yeah, so what color are you gonna paint anyways?
I'm doing a very soft buttery yellow for the hallway.
Oh, that's gonna be
And
nice.
I don't know if it'll be the same color in here, but maybe a bit deep base because it's a different lighting.
Yeah, I noticed the deep colors. I think in terms of resale and saleability, having a nice kind of neutral color, which you probably know because you're a designer, right?
Marika, wonderful person, and obviously she's very well known and would definitely, be able to sell this property.
There's a couple things I want to touch on. I don't care what anybody tells you, emotion is what sells homes.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to make sure that this house is filled with that emotion, which I felt it when I come in here. I know you have a family, I know you have pets. You can kind of feel just from your decor, from everything, that there's a lot of love and family here. I think that's really important. I think that's the kind of stuff that stands out in listings. So being prepared, talking a little bit more about kind of what you guys do here, where you hang out, all different types of things, and having that within the listing on MLS. We could do that through photography, videos, all that kind of good stuff to show all that emotion and get people through the door to experience that. Because ultimately we want those people to come in, look at their agent and say, what is it going to take for us to have this house? We want this house.
Yeah, I liked her. Nothing to, say against her.
So in here I have a wonderful marketing guide that's going to tell you exactly how I'm going to sell your house. It's going to start with getting all that emotion ready, getting the photography ready. We're going to start blasting it out everywhere. So the first 2 weeks of the listing are very, very important. When it hits the MLS, all the auto emails for all the buyers looking to buy get targeted. So those first 2 weeks, we need to make sure this house is awesome.
Marika emphasized that buying a house is an emotional decision, and that she would be the best one to convey that feeling to potential buyers. She also suggested listing at $599,000, the exact price that Amanda suggested. Now our 3 realtors have to wait it out while Leanne makes a decision. Our 3 realtors have patiently waited in the basement while Leanne debated which one of the 3 her family should list with. Who has she decided is the one?
In trying to choose which realtor I might like better, I was trying to narrow it down to pick one, because just a point blank, I like this one better, is not how, it's not as easy as that. I was then thinking at the end, I have to sit back and think, who would my husband pick? And so he's the opposite, and so that's where I felt that Dean might be a little bit too much for him, too overbearing, too forward, and then you have 2 people butting heads perhaps, and we want to avoid that.
Dean is out of the running, so that leaves Marika or Amanda.
In comparing Marika and Amanda, I'd have to say Amanda was far more personal in trying to relate with me, and Marika was more so having a business front.
Amanda is the winner. So Dean and Marika pack up their chairs, ready to try again next time. Amanda gets straight to work with Leanne.
You
again.
too. Thanks so much. I'm really excited to work for you.
Oh, that's awesome. And speaking of work, I
Yes.
have some work.
Oh no,
We're gonna paint and get to work
I
on
am
my
the worst painter in the world though. You're not gonna
6
want
months
me to
later,
help you
it's
like
time to
that.
catch up.
Leanne and her husband never did list their property.
So my intent was definitely to try to sell and list right away. We have been preparing to sell since it's almost a year now.
She had done all of the work, the painting, the staging, the decluttering to get it ready for sale.
Leanne was ready, the house was ready, but Leanne's husband Brett wasn't.
He was definitely on board at first, but then he changed his mind a little bit.
What I noticed very quickly was that there was a huge disconnect between the two of them.
We're not on the same page. We're opposites.
He kept saying, can you please tell my wife that moving's more expensive than she realizes? Can you please tell my wife that we're not able to do this right now? Can you please tell my wife?
I initiated it because that's what made sense for me. But I'm not the boss of the house, no. Definitely not.
Although they haven't listed their house, they have been looking at various buying options.
Working with Amanda has been fine. She keeps us updated, like I say, with all the listings, and then a couple of emails to see how things are going.
Been keeping in touch. I've been giving them updates on the value because it's been increasing.
We went and looked at a couple houses one weekend in an area that we are interested in, but really nothing much is coming up in that neighborhood.
They've done everything they need to do so we could pull the trigger at any time.
Nothing is coming up, and so I'm not in a hurry now either. I actually have to consider, should we make the choice to relook at this house and how to make it work for us for a little longer.
It looks like Leanne and family won't be moving anytime soon. But what's the saying? That's the biz, folks.
If I would have listed that property, it would have sold probably within a week or two at the most. The market is so hot, there's no inventory. Almost anything is selling right now. If it's under $1 million, it's going.
This market is so strong that this house will really sell quite fast if we find something that we want to move on.
The thing about a seller's market is that everyone's making money. And so it's the buyers that are struggling right now. They're the ones who have to give up everything to get something, and they're competing against a bunch of others. You know, we're pulling up to show a house right now and there's 25 cars of agents and buyers waiting in line, and it's just a frenzy.
If we sold, we would have been left with really no choices to what we need for a house.